Hello, my name is Katie and welcome to my shed. I'm being brave. I'm using the camera again. So for those of you that don't know, my this week's video was to be uploaded this morning at 6 o'clock and I was still in my shed at 3 o'clock this morning re-recording parts of it because for some reason the data recordings on this camera they transferred to my computer absolutely fine, but iMovies was not liking them. Only when it came to downloading them into my download so that I could upload them. Lots of downloading and uploading with this malarkey, and I'm not very good at it apparently. So that's what we're here doing today. So I'm going to record it on this camera. I might also double down and record it on my phone, but we'll see. Anyway, today I am here to talk about my daily art challenge that I have been doing. I have just finished it today. I have done 100 days of sketching and I was doing continual line drawing. Don't know why I've got so many hands going on today. I was doing continual line drawing and watercolour washes. So I was just going to talk a little bit about that, why I did it, what I've learnt, and show you some of the drawings. So I might actually try and do like a montage of all 100 of them. So that will go in at some point. It's sunny. It's been raining, but now it's sunny and the bees are bumbling around. I get distracted as usual. Let's talk about, first of all, the whys. So I decided I wanted to do an art challenge as part of my New Year's resolution. And not New Year's resolution, I keep calling them that. That's not what they're called, is it? My New Year's goals, my art goals. I wanted to do drawing every day because up until fairly recently, I considered myself as a non-drawer. Apologies if you've heard this story before, but I considered myself a non-drawer. When we were running one of our workshops, the one that Louise was running, she did one on continual line drawing. Until I did that workshop, I did not think of myself as a drawer. And I did the workshop, which had some continual line in it. Just more as, I was making teas and coffees, but then in between that I was doing the activities that Lou had. And I thought, I really like this. And it made me feel like I could draw without worrying about the drawing, because the fact that you can't take your pen off means that it can't be perfect. There's going to be lines, there's going to be wobbly bits, and I think that for me took the pressure off and allowed me to draw freely and actually draw things that most of the time resembled what I was trying to draw. So I thought, I want to get better at that. So that was why I wanted to do the continual line. You can't overthink it. Let's talk a little bit about the time it takes to do a daily art challenge. So actually the art challenges themselves probably took 5 to 10 minutes each day, which was absolutely achievable. I know I'm up at silly o'clock every day, really early. But often I was doing them after I'd got ready for work and while I was waiting for my daughter to come downstairs, brush her teeth and come downstairs. So yes, it's a time commitment, but it wasn't as big a deal as I thought it was going to be. However, what took the time was the editing the shorts. And I know shorts, well, I feel like a 20-second, 30-second clip shouldn't be that big a deal. But they always take me ages. There's always something the matter. And then trying to pick the songs was really hard as well. So I think that was the biggest challenge, was for time-wise, was the editing. And I think that if I was cleverer and did them in batches, that would have been okay. Because then did them the night before so that I could edit it the night before and upload it. Then that would have helped. But in my head, in my little made-up rules, if you don't know, I like a made-up rule. in my head, I had to do it that day. Otherwise, it didn't count. So if you're going to do it, don't follow your own silly made up rules. Do what makes it achievable and easier for yourself, because you're still doing that that regular drawing exercise. So don't make things hard for yourself, I suppose, is what I'm trying to say. And the other thing, this is another thing where I made life harder for myself, but also it helped me lose my need for perfection, I suppose, was I only used one palette of paints, and I use my Rosa Gallery classic set. Yes, classic set. So in that, it's disgusting. Apologies. I'm not going to apologise actually, but it is disgusting. But these are the colours you've got. So I've got cadmium yellow, a cadmium yellow light, no, cadmium lemon and a cadmium yellow light, cadmium red light, madder red, emerald green, a green, cobalt blue, ultramarine, yellow ochre, umber, sepia, and a neutral black. So that's my palette. And there are certain colours you cannot mix out of that one. No, let me rephrase that. There are certain colours I cannot mix using this palette. Therefore, some of the things I was drawing and painting were different colours. They just weren't right. And I think you probably see that. A really good example of that is the 100th day, where I was trying to do a pink candle. Let me open it. And it's a red candle. Does it really matter? No, it doesn't. So it doesn't matter. And actually, there was nothing I could do about it. Well, there was. I mean, I could have come out here, picked another palette, blah, 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 but I wasn't going to do that. I wanted to just use the palette I had, because it meant I would get much more used to those colours and colour mixing with those colours, which I think I have. So yeah, that was my other thing. I was going to show you through the pictures really, so let's do that. What I'll do is we will put in around here-ish a little montage of all the photos. the eagle eye amongst you, if you're very clever, will realise I can't count. And actually, there were 101 drawings there. I don't know where I got it wrong, but there were. Okay, so we're going to start with number 1. So this was the first one I did, and it's quite cute. It's very safe. Would I do it any better now? Possibly not. I would say some of these ones, like this one, I actually used the palette that I drew because I was doing them in the shed, and then I realised that added probably about 3 minutes to the morning to try and get into the shed to do it, and I just didn't have that. So I'm going to, I really like all of those ones at the beginning, all the art ones. Right, skip through to where things got, I did play it quite safe at the beginning. There was lots of birds and things like that. One of the other things that I enjoyed doing was different fonts and writing. And this was the first time I did the writing, was when I did the matches. And I really enjoyed doing that one as well. And sort of trying to get the fonts right. I do think on some of them I probably shouldn't have done colour, because where I haven't done the colours on some of them, I've really enjoyed it. So the vinegar, super simple, this one, my vinegar pot. Really simple shapes, but probably one of my favourites. Oh, there's so many that I like. I really like this one. Interestingly, this was the first one I did that I was super chuffed with it. I think probably because I love the milk jug, cream jug. I think it's a cream jug. But it didn't do that well in views. And then that's when I realised it's probably luck. Certainly for me, it's luck about what does well from a viewpoint of view. I really like the Marmite one. That one was fun. And Tabasco. I did realise that I actually like doing food-based products. Now these ones did really well. I have a set of these little ornaments, and they did, all 3 of those did really well. That one, the squirrel, and well, the rabbit one didn't do as well, but that's a bit weird. So I'm going to keep squeezing through. I really enjoyed doing the food ones. Some of them turned out better than others. And I quite like, actually there's loads I like. Look, this one turned out really well. Some of them, on the other hand, did not turn out very well. So this one was from a leftover piece of cake. Look at the state of that. I did some more food and a few coffees. I don't know if some of them I like more than others because I have like an emotional attachment to the actual object, maybe. I think this was why I started trying to get clever with colours and things. And I think at this point was where I realised that I could do the colour matching and I could mix my colours well enough with the palette that I had. I like this one as well. It doesn't look like what it was. It was a chocolate coin, but oh, and that one. Oh, this is boring. It's just me showing pictures of things I like. The pear, the day 66 pear. That one, I think, was a really good little study as well. And there's something about this paper because it sucks it's quite mattifying, isn't the right way? It like sucks the colour out of the paint. But that worked. I feel like it worked really well here because you get the actual texture of the pear. You know when they're kind of like dry, aren't they, and rough. Oh, and I like my tins of peas. I did quite a lot of tins of food. I think that was probably where I was being a little bit lazy and just grabbing something out of the cupboard or running out of time. It's probably a better way of putting it rather than being lazy. The Uno one was quite fun as well. I definitely wouldn't have done something like that at the beginning of the task because in my head there's just too much going on. This is going to be such a boring video. Actually, I think a lot of them, they were getting better, weren't they? Just, maybe better's not the right word. Maybe more confident. I feel like I was getting more confident. And my Emma Bridgewater mugs, I'm pleased with how they turned out as well. I think I'm just always so surprised when something comes out looking like the actual object. And then day 99, these are some of my favourite things I own. This is like a cruet set, an Italian pottery one. The last one was awful, which was the cake. But yeah, proud of myself. So I think for me, doing it consistently like that really, really taught me something that I probably wouldn't have got just from popping in here a couple of times a week, which is that consistency and showing up for yourself beats that kind of motivation. In that there were some days I really wanted to draw, some days I didn't want to draw because I was just like, we're in a rush, got somewhere to be, or I couldn't find anything to draw. But the fact that I showed up for myself and for my practice was important, and I think paid off. And I do think, although I really liked my drawings at the start, I do think I've got better. I've got more confident with my marks, more confident with my items that I was choosing to draw. And that was because of the consistency. There's no way that I would have done a lot of those on day one. It's stopped me being precious. It's given me a little bit of confidence to have a go. I mean, worst case, I just don't show it. But for me, I think it was important that I did just show whatever I drew, because if I'd have cheated, I don't know, it just felt like cheating wasn't an option for me. And I don't know, it'd be interesting to see what you think, but I feel like you can really see, you can see how my style has developed and evolved. It feels like that to me. So I would say, if anyone's thinking about doing a challenge, absolutely do it. It was very enjoyable. Even if there was a few days when I didn't really have the oomph to do it. It's given me a whole load of stuff. Like, I finished my first sketchbook. That's amazing. And I've about a third of the way through this one. So it's given me a whole load of stuff that I can look back on. And if I wanted to develop, somebody actually suggested doing a cookbook or something. So I'm thinking I'm going to do some family recipes. I'll illustrate them and then I'll get the family member to write them out. So yes, it's given me sort of a whole load of stuff to look at. Stupid hat. I think it helped me to find a little bit of joy in the drawing and in the process of creating these things. It was fun. It was really good fun doing it. I would just say, if anyone's thinking about doing it, don't beat yourself up if you've got to do a few on one day and edit them in advance to make it work. Maybe that is cheating. Maybe it isn't. That's my advice. And don't worry about the colours. Like, if you're like me and you're a bit rubbish at colour mixing, then maybe do what I did and use one palette and try and get used to that palette. The robin's back. It's very cute. If you're not worried about that, then just take the colours you want and don't create an additional layer of stress into what you're trying to do. I guess it depends what's important to you and why you're doing it. But for me, it was the drawing and the colour mixing. That's my little journey over the last 100 days. I am going to do, well, I've already started. You'll know that by now if you've been watching my shorts. But I am starting a new series, colour mixing series. No, I am starting a new 100-day challenge. This 100-day challenge is going to be about doing colour studies. I was going to say colour mixing. It's not just about colour mixing, it's about doing colour studies, because I've realised I've got hundreds of photos on my phone where I've seen colours or shapes that I thought, oh, I really like that. I do nothing with them because it's things that don't necessarily make a whole picture. So I'm going to take those as inspiration for colour studies. So yes, that's what I'm going to start. And I'm going to start that tomorrow. So wish me luck with that one. I might cheat a little bit more on that one because I need life to be a little bit easier. Let me know in the comments, have you ever done an art challenge? If so, which one did you do? What did you learn from doing it, and would you recommend it? And have you got any advice for anyone else that might want to do an art challenge? I made this one up myself because that's what I wanted to learn. But there are, if you don't feel like you're the sort of person that can come up with the ideas yourself, there are loads out there that you can do. In October, there's Inktober, there's the Burb Fest one that I did earlier in the year. Like, there's loads. So feel free to just have a look on the internet and see what's out there, and you can use their ideas, and that saves you having to think about it. If you have enjoyed this video, please do, what's the word? Please do consider giving it a thumbs up. If you don't subscribe already, then feel free to do so. That would be amazing. We are growing quite rapidly, so it's not rapid. Rapid for me. Not rapid in the world of YouTube, in the world of social media. Rapid for me. In the last week, we've gone up by, I think, nearly 40 people. So that is big. Normally I go up by 1 or 2 a week. So I have a very slow growing channel, and for those of you that have joined us in the last week, thank you for coming. As I said at the beginning of the channel, as I said at the beginning of the video, I was out in my shed this morning at 3 o'clock recording last week's video, and I'm tired, so I'm going to go in and make myself a cuppa, and I might have a little doze. I won't have a doze because I'm rubbish at dozing, but I might sit and scroll on my phone a little while. So have a lovely week, and I will see you soon. Bye.